What's up, everybody? I wanted to touch base again and give another update on AlexMurdaugh. I've seen from the News Nation YouTube channel with Bansfield, as well as many of my viewers leaving comments for me, just to give me a heads up that news has come out that AlexMurdaugh has been relocated to McCormick Correctional Institution. I do have a bit of insight on McCormick Correctional Institution. If you don't know, I've spent 10 years in the South Carolina Department of Corrections myself, and I'm familiar with just about every yard there is in the state of South Carolina. But before I go into the subject of McCormick Correctional Institution, let me talk about these love letters that AlexMurdaugh is getting. I'm sure that several, or some of them, a portion of them, are handwritten letters, but let me tell you how most of these love letters are getting to him and how they're being sent to him. And you may be able to tell this by reading, they released some examples or released some of the letters that were obtained in the Freedom of Information Act request that was done to receive these letters. These are sent electronically. These are not handwritten letters, most of them. You can tell because there's a lot of text slang and text abbreviations and shortening of words, LOL, OMG, things like that, as someone would do when they're usually typing. In 2020, SCDC issued tablets to all of the inmates in all of the state prisons in South Carolina, and on these you can send and receive electronic messages, essentially emails or text messages. So that's how a lot of these love letters are being sent, and anyone can send AlexMurdaugh a message, whether you love him or whether you hate him. If you'd like to get him a message, well, I'd be glad to tell you how. You can do it right now. You can go to GTL.com, just the letter G, letter T, and letter L.com. Or if you don't want to have to go through the link clicking and finding the correct way through GTL.com to the main website, you can also go to ConnectNetwork.com. So this is the main website for the for sending messages. What you'll have to do first is create an account with ConnectNetwork.com. So go ahead and set up your account, and then once you've done that, you cannot. It costs money to send a message to the inmate, to send a message to AlexMurdaugh, and it also costs money. It costs that inmate money. To be able to send a message to you back. So usually if we were talking, someone who has a loved one in prison and they want to send them a message and they also want to be able to get a message back from them, you have to put money on this person's account. You would have to put enough money on AlexMurdaugh's account. Not only would it cost you money, but maybe 50 cents at the most to send AlexMurdaugh a message. But if you want to possibly get a message back from him, you'll have to put enough money on his account for him to be able to send that message back. So just keep that in mind. We're not talking like $10 a message here, and I'm not assuming anyone wants to tell him anything good. Maybe you do. Maybe you want to send him something positive. Maybe you want to tell him, hey, you suck. Well, you can do that. So that's how you do it. You're just going to have to put, it'll tell you exactly how much money to put on there, but we're talking cents and dollars here at the most. So once you create that account, you're going to have to enter the information of the inmate you're wanting to either put money on their account or the inmate you're wanting to send a message to. So here's how you enter AlexMurdaugh's information. You simply type in the name, I believe is it AlexMurdaugh, or Richard Murdaugh would be his first name. And also you will have to enter his SCDC number. So I'm going to go ahead and give you his SCDC number now so you have that. That would be, I just double checked, that would be Richard Alexander Murdaugh. And the SCDC number they will ask you for him specifically is 390394. 390394. So there you go. You have that information. Now you just set up your account, fund it, and enter the information of that inmate, and you'll be able to tell him whatever you want. Hey, That's up to you. No judging. Now, as for the actual McCormick prison yard in South Carolina, where he is now at, again, he's on solitary confinement. I've already covered this in a previous video. When I talk about the protective custody units and the protective custody wings, that's how it operates in any protective custody unit on any yard in South Carolina. So just because he's at McCormick protective custody doesn't mean that the schedule and the day-to-day activity and what he's allowed to do, not allowed to do, so forth, that doesn't mean it's any different than when he was at Kirkland or whatever yard he was on protective custody at. Okay, it still applies and it's still the same. So if you are interested in what his schedule is and what he's able to do and not able to do, find that video where I go into detail about that. Now, again, for McCormick, this is I would say it's in the top 3 most dangerous maximum security yards in the state of South Carolina. When we're talking about dangerous yards in South Carolina, that's saying a lot, considering just a few years ago, the most deadly prison riot in the entire United States for the past 25 years took place. And the key way that McCormick is related to that, this riot took place at Lee County Correctional Institution. I believe 7 inmates were found dead. Maybe another 20 or more were injured. And the one news report even said, quote, there was a report that bodies were stacked on top of each other. It was very gruesome. Listen, in South Carolina prisons, especially these maximum securities at Lee County, Broad River, and number 3 in my personal rankings, McCormick, things can get nasty. So if he ever does come off of protective custody, he's in for a brand new world. And let me tell you, the way that riot even began at Lee County was because several inmates were transferred from McCormick to Lee County. And once they arrived there, a gang turf war erupted and resulted in, again, one of the most deadly riots in the past 25 years for the entire country. Okay, so that just sets the stage for where exactly AlexMurdaugh has found himself right now. So we'll see in the next few months if he's able to come off or if they forcibly take him off of protective custody. And if so, that is going to be one interesting ride that hopefully we'll all go on together. How can we go on it together? Please make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be back soon with another video as soon as I have more information or another update to give on Murdaugh.